Hi, and welcome to my channel, Laura's Library Card. So today's video is actually a collaboration video with my friend Temecka from Library of Tomes. Temecka is awesome. I think she's sassy. I think she's bright. I think that she just gives it to you straight. She just is straightforward and is like, this is awesome. You should read it. It's amazing. Or, maybe stay away from this other one. I love Temecka's style. I think that her vlogs are always so funny. Her puppies are adorable. I really have grown to love the content that Temecka puts out. And so I was super thrilled when she put out the call for collabs and agreed to work with me. So after you're done watching my video, you should definitely go check out Temecka's on the same topic. I will leave a link to her video down in the description. And so what are we talking about today? Today we are talking about romance authors that we would like to give a second chance. So we've each picked 6 different authors. Hers are a little bit more taboo. I don't think I've read any of them. And mine are probably names you're a little more familiar with, but let's just dive right in. So all the authors that I'm going to talk about today, I've read 1, maybe 2 of their books, and I'm going to start with ones where I read 1 or 2 books and they were fine, or they were even good and I want to read more. And then as I go throughout the video, I'm going to discuss authors where I read 1 or 2 books that I was less a fan of, but that I still might be willing to give a chance. So the first on my list is author Joanna Shoop. I just finished The Rogue of Fifth Avenue, which was a historical romance book set in the Gilded Age. And I liked it. I gave it a solid 4 stars. There were definitely some issues which were pointed out during the live show. So the Book Refuge, Jen over at the Book Refuge, chose this book for October for her historical romance reads, and they had their live show not that long ago, which I attended, and everyone thought it was like okay, and I felt like everyone was like a little harsh on The Rogue of Fifth Avenue, but they did make some good points that there were some plotting issues, and it could have been constructed a little bit better. But I enjoyed The Rogue of Fifth Avenue, and looking at Goodreads, it looks like Joanna Shoop has quite a number of other books, both the Knickerbocker series, which I'm interested in, and it looks like most of them are historical romance, many of which are set in the Gilded Age, so not Regencies, which I think is great. Her overall Goodreads rating for an author is 3.8, which is good. I think that's pretty good. It's sort of right at the threshold that I mostly just read what I want to read, but generally if I'm considering a book, it kind of has to meet a 3.8 threshold. So I definitely want to give Joanna Shoop another chance. Next on this list is Julie Garwood. I recently read The Secret as another one of the Book Refuge's historical romance picks. I read this in September. It's a historical romance. It's a bit older than Regency. I think it's like 1180 or something. It's like more medieval. I think I was in sort of the middle of a reading slump, but for me, I liked this book. It just wasn't like hitting the spot as to what I wanted at the time. I found The Secret to be very like whimsical and light writing, very like low tension, somewhat low on the steamy scale for me. Overall, I thought it was a good read and I did enjoy it, and I definitely am interested in reading more Julie Garwood books. She definitely has a big backlist, a lot of books published in the 90s and in the early 2000s. And her overall Goodreads author rating is a 4.1, so that's really good. So I definitely want to check out more Julie Garwood and give her another chance. Next on this list is actually the author Lauren Blakely. I have read 2 books by this author. The first book that I read was The Real Deal, and it's about a boyfriend for hire. So I thought the idea was cute. I liked the execution overall. Looking back at my review, my frustrations were the insta love and the female narrator, which obviously doesn't have anything to do with the book writing. So I rated that a very solid 3.5. And then I read another book by Lauren Blakely, and this one was Caught Up in Us, and that one I just really did not like. I felt like that was a brother's best friend romance and sort of also a second chance romance now that they're older and have matured. And I felt like it was also like mentor mentee in like current times. And I found it annoying. I felt like there wasn't a good development of their relationship. And so I just was sort of like meh and let down by that one and gave it 2 stars. So to me, that was a hit and miss for this author, and she has a huge backlist. So there's definitely a wide variety out there. It looks like most of them are contemporary. And it looks like she has lots of series, and her overall author rating is 3.98, so that's high. So I definitely feel like I need to give Lauren Blakely another shot. So moving on to the list of I didn't like quite so well, the first author I'm going to mention is Helena Hunting. I've read 1 book by Helena Hunting, and that was Meet Cute. And that book was about this girl has always had a crush on like basically her like teen idol, and she had a crush on him when they went to the same college, and then here they are years later sort of starting a relationship. I just found this book, I was listening to it on audio, and I just like didn't care. Like I was just like, I don't care about these people. Like their tension was just like, I felt like I just was kind of like bored throughout the book. I actually used the word saccharine in my Goodreads review. And I also wrote in my Goodreads review that maybe I was starting a slump, so like maybe that's not fair. I do remember feeling like the writing was okay, but when I checked Helena Hunting's Goodreads page, she has quite a number of books, and I had 2 different books on sort of my like long list to read to get to, and then I had one on my more immediate TBR, which is her Pucked series. So I've definitely heard about Pucked quite a bit. I've heard of Helena Hunting before, so I don't know if Meet Cute was just like me thing or if it was just like a one-off. So I definitely want to give Helena Hunting, who has a 4.07 author rating, another chance. Another author that I'd like to give a second chance is Laurelin Paige. I've actually read 2 books by this author. The first, which was a duet, which were the Dirty Filthy Rich Men and then Dirty Filthy Rich Love. When I was preparing for this video, I was sorting my Goodreads based on my ratings, which is how these came up. I have like no memory of these books, even though I read them at the end of 2018, so it's been less than 2 years. But despite having minimal memory, my reviews are spicy. And in my reviews of both of those books, I was complaining about consent issues, and I wrote that I was complaining about the main female character like having to get over a lot of her like issues about her, like what she really wants out of her sexual encounters. And I wrote about the emotional immaturity of our hero. So I personally don't at this exact moment remember this series, but Laurelin Paige is a name that I've heard a ton of. I can see that she has a big backlist. A lot of the covers are these like gorgeous hunky dudes. They look like contemporary, they look steamy. I've heard this author's name a whole bunch. Her Goodreads rating is a 4.18. So I definitely feel like Laurelin Paige, I don't know if like those books just weren't working for me at that time, but I think that this author deserves another chance from me. And last on this list is an author that I actually just read for the first time maybe 2 months ago. I did a mildly ranty review of the book that I read, and I will link that up in the cards, and that is T.L. Swan. I read the book The Takeover. I got this book as an ARC, and I read it, and it just, I mean, you should see my review for my full thoughts, but basically I felt like it was too long and the writing was clunky, and I felt like the characterization was sort of poor. I ultimately rated it only a 2-star. But at the time I saw multiple other people, I'm pretty sure Jen from the Book Refuge, I'm pretty sure Charles from Books on Stereo. I saw a couple people talking about this new T.L. Swan ARC that was coming out or available or coming out. The book, you know, was recently released, and how everyone was excited for it. And I remember being like, why is everybody excited for this book that I thought was like, meh? But I can see that T.L. Swan has quite a number of books on her page, and they all have the like steamy, contemporary, sexy guys on the covers. And her Goodreads rating is the highest yet at 4.3. So I feel like maybe they changed stuff from the ARC to the final publish. I don't know how they could have changed that much, but So I sort of feel like T.L. Swan probably deserves another chance for me because she's so highly rated and has such highly rated books as well. So those are 6 authors that I have read minimal of their books and feel deserve probably a second chance from me. 3 honorable mentions are authors that I have read 1 book from all in the last couple months, and I really enjoyed those singular books and would love to continue. And those are Cat Sebastian, where I've read 2 Rogues Make a Right, and Hairpin Curves was by Elia Winters. I definitely really enjoyed that book and the steaminess, and so I definitely want to read more by Winters. And the last author is Kerrigan Byrne. I read The Highwayman and I liked it. And I definitely want to check out more from her. I think that from what I've heard, that series gets even better in the later books. So those are some honorable mentions. If any of the authors I have mentioned in this video are ones that you love or you have read and you have amazing recommendation and a book that you would suggest that I start with when I give these authors a second chance, please leave that down below in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. Are there any authors that you have that I didn't mention that you were like, I read 1 book, I don't know, and you want to give them a second chance? Leave that down in the comment below. I'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to go and watch Temecka's video on the same topic. Again, Temecka, you're the best, and I'm so thankful that she invited me to do this collab. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more similar content. Thanks. Bye.